Welcome to the Tom's River Show. Pat O'Melia here. You there? Tom's River residents, why we do this show. Try to educate you, inform you, maybe entertain you a little bit. Freedom is upon us. By the weekend, we'll be mask free indoors. There'll be no more social distancing. And it arrived just in time for the start of the summer season. Now, we have the studio here in Seaside Heights. Summer season is extremely important to Seaside Heights and Tom's River. The more people that come down Route 37 and Route 35, they stop in the businesses, they see some cars for sale, they stop at Burger 25, they're stopping at the big lots, they're picking things up. That's what you want. That creates jobs, creates revenue, boosts the economy, so we need a good, successful season. Hopefully the weather cooperates. We're going to talk about king tides, but plan your trip to Seaside Heights. There's a lot going on the boardwalk. There's a lot of new businesses. For that matter, I'm going to hopefully talk to the mayor, Tony Vaz, today about doing a quick special on that and maybe bring back the Shore Show. Either come down for a day, you come down for an overnight, a week, for that matter. Let me show you some of my quality work that I recently did. My kids have a summer rental in Seaside Heights. And I built this nice little backyard setup here. Kid from Jersey City. I built that picnic table, the bench, the chairs, the love seat. Look at that. There's another chair in there somewhere. You can't see it. We got a brand new barbecue grill. And I built that table next to the barbecue grill out of scrap wood. And an old table I was laying around in the backyard. I sanded down the legs, ground down the legs, all the rust. So that is part of the Airbnb summer rental. You can see that. Go on Airbnb. You can rent that whole apartment here in Seaside Heights. What are we going to talk about today? We are going to talk about mask mandates for schools. Tom's River Superintendent is asking the governor to waive that. We're going to talk about who should pay school taxes, not-for-profit tax exemptions, and king tides, nature's latest. You're watching the Tom's River Show. We'll be right back. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Stevens Jersey City Ford, located right off of NJ 440 North. Across the Hudson Mall is your one-stop for all your automotive needs. Check out Ford's latest models like the 2020 Ford Fusion with its stylish looks and hybrid options, or the unparalleled high-performance 2020 Ford Mustang. The 2020 Ford F-150 Raptor is ready for those rugged off-road terrains with trail control. Need a mid-sized truck for your towing and hauling? The 2020 Ford Ranger will deliver. The 2020 Ford Escape is a luxury SUV that was made for comfort and adventure on the go. Returning is Ford's legendary Bronco, which takes you back to the true meaning of off-roading. They are now available for pre-order in our showroom or on our website. Let us help you find your next vehicle. Stevens Jersey City Ford, 201-432-7272.
Cutting edge surgical care is right here in Secaucus.
Robotic surgery is safer.
Shorter hospital stays.
Smaller abdominal incisions, the size of an M&M. Here at Hudson Regional, we provide world-class robotic surgical care.
We're back. Tom's River Show. Pat O'Melia here. You there? And remember, Seaside Heights, come for a day trip, overnight, weekend, weekday, accommodate anywhere. Again, the Airbnb, have a lot of that listed down here. My kid's house is listed. You got the Belmont, you got the Aztec. There's a lot of places to stay in Seaside Heights. Make it a point. Come visit the boardwalk. You know, the beach is getting, Billy Rampoli's going to drag the beach. That'll be all clean. Got a lot of new stands up here. You got new places to eat. You got a cheese macaroni place, French fry place. You got the cabanas. Got a lot going on this year. So make it a point to stop by Seaside Heights. On the bottom of the screen, you'll see all that fun information. Love us on Facebook. Like us on YouTube, all that stuff. Live stream is our base streaming network. Preview to you. Download the app. Well, that's where we archive all our shows. And they had a lot of other programming there also. Speaking of program, if you got Amazon Prime, you just picked up MGM. They're going to have James Bond and Rocky and all the MGM movies on Prime. They paid $8.5 billion for MGM, a studio that was bankrupt not too long ago. What a rebound. Toms River Schools. Superintendent has written a letter to Governor Murphy asking that he waive the school mask mandate. In September, when the kids go back, they're going to have to wear a mask in school. Now, on the 29th, we're free of the mask. You can go indoors. You can go into a restaurant. You can go into a bar. You can go in a ShopRite. You can go into Home Depot. You can go anywhere you want without a mask, except for school and a few other exemptions. Now, in my opinion, we are either mask-free or we're not mask-free. There are very few exceptions, I should say, to that rule. Murphy has quite a few. Children are basically immune to COVID-19. If they catch it, they won't even know they catch it. If the teachers are vaccinated or they have the antibodies, I don't personally see a reason for kids to wear masks. And it's even doubly hard for the younger kids, the kids in preschool, pre-K, and first, second, third grade. They don't want to wear these masks, and nor should they. Like I said, they are basically immune to COVID-19. We're in that light at the end of the tunnel. I think the United States has exactly half of the nation has been fully vaccinated. We got a way to go. Jersey's doing well. Most of the municipalities are somewhere in the 30s to 50% fully vaccinated. A lot of people probably had COVID, didn't even know it. When we were doing the COVID updates, if you caught COVID, there was like a 99% chance you wouldn't even know about it. You would make a full recovery even if you had symptoms. Kids are virtually immune. Listen, I'm not telling you what to do to your kids. You should speak to your doctor. I am not of the school where children should get the COVID shot, but that's me. The teachers are vaccinated or they have the antibodies. I think we're all right. Like I said, we're either mask-free or we're not mask-free. Social distancing is done with. Here are some of the exceptions. Healthcare settings, including long-term care facilities. We're going to do that now, huh? We're going to have some procedures there. Airplanes, public transit, that's trains, buses, airplanes. What was that movie? Planes, trains, and cars? Well, in this case, buses. For that matter, I would be very concerned being in a tight, closed space with very little ventilation. A bus, a light rail, a train. Correctional facilities, they will have to wear masks. Homeless shelters, they have to wear a mask. Youth summer camps, the kids are out playing. And again, they're kids. Don't think they need masks there. Also, I don't think they need it in school. Public and private preschools. Yeah, you're going to send a kid, a 3-year-old, with a mask. Public-facing state offices like Motor Vehicle Commission. Try to avoid the Motor Vehicle Commission as much as possible in person. For that matter, I just re-registered my car yesterday. Online is great. They need to expand the online website. It's one of the few websites that really work well. And, you can deposit a check over your phone. I'm sure we can do a title online. Work sites that are closed to the public. How many work sites are open? Your office open to the public? The studio is not open to the public. Yeah, you have to wear masks there? That's ridiculous. Either, if I can go into the beachcomber on the boardwalk or the casino, Coin Castle, without a mask, I should be able to go to work without a mask. We don't need all these exceptions, or exemptions, what do you want to call them? We're either mask-free or not, and kids don't need them. All right, we're going to break the commercial. You're watching the Tom's River Show. I'll be right back.
Hudson Regional Hospital, we promise to be prepared for your emergency.
We promise to provide world-class robotic surgical care.
We promise to treat you like family.
To provide accurate diagnostic care.
to provide the most innovative orthopedic care at your doorsteps.
We promise to treat your baby like our own.
To never stop investing in the best of spinal care.
To be with you every step of the way.
Here at Hudson Regional Hospital, we promise to take care of our community.
We're back. Tom's River Show here. Pat O'Melia, you there? Concerned Tom's River resident? Thinking about Seaside Heights? Spend some time at Seaside Heights. You can all use the business. Who should pay school taxes? As in Tom's River, there's an issue in my home city, Jersey City, about school taxes. School taxes are going through the roof in Jersey City. Where Jersey City is trying to create affordable housing, where most of the communities are trying to create affordable housing, if taxes are out of control, there can be no affordable housing. Mayor Fulop in Jersey City is trying to confront that. He is trying to work with the Board of Education. He's doing everything he can. In Jersey City, it costs $27,135 to educate a student, one student. 30,000 students in Jersey City, and it's like $816 million budget. That is a lot of money. In Tom's River, I believe the number was $16,985, off the top of my head. It was $10,000 less than Jersey City. You're going to have to address that too, because as school taxes keep rising and getting out of control, so does your property taxes. But it becomes a question. Who should pay property taxes? Who should pay, school taxes? That becomes an interesting question. Now, somewhere along the line, we have to address school taxes. We've done this on the Tom's River Show many, many times about the 584 school districts and the numerous superintendents and the assistant superintendents and the deputy superintendents. Everybody focused on the superintendents, and I forget, there was a ridiculous number for superintendent salaries. But each one of those supers have like 2 or 3 deputies. And in some cases, those assistants or deputies make more than the super. The supers' payrolls were capped. Assistant deputies and assistants, they weren't. There is a lot of waste in the New Jersey school system that needs to be addressed. We don't need all of these districts. And all of those districts come with payrolls and pensions and benefits that you're paying for. But the question is, who should pay school taxes? Now, you take a single person, buys a house in Tom's River, has no kids. Should he pay school taxes? He's not getting anything for his taxation. Is that right? He will, but is it right? Now, if he is, that's kind of just floated along. This is part of an American school taxes. Well, that school tax number is getting pretty damn steep now. This is in the 60s. What about a couple that has no children, childless couple? Should they pay school taxes? They have nobody in schools, but they're paying for that schools. Seniors. Should seniors pay? Haven't had a kid in school in 30 years. Should they be paying school taxes? But the argument might be, well, you did at one time. So for the rest of your life, you will pay basically a tuition because your kids went to school. So forever, you're going to pay school taxes, whether your kids are there or your kids are there or not. Parents with kids in private school, they opted for, religious education, private education. They still have to pay school taxes. So that's like a double taxation on them because they decided, for whatever reason, to send their children to a private school, but yet they pay that. Yeah, is that fair? See, those are the kind of questions that are going to start coming up. Should there be a cutoff for parents whose kids did go to school? Should it be like 5 years? After your kids are out of school, you're still going to pay school taxes for 5 years or 10 years. And like I said, right now, it's in perpetuity. It's forever. You're not getting a break on that. What about parents who move out? The kids went to public school, grammar school, high school, they graduated, kids off to college somewhere. They move out of town. They move South Jersey where it's much cheaper, where it's $6,000 a kid to educate. They left town. Is that right? Should we, if your kids went to a public school in Jersey City or Toms River, and I keep comparing the two because Toms River is just a smaller version of Jersey City, and most of the people in Toms River come from Jersey City. You don't need 7 degrees of separation here. We can do it in 2 degrees to find Jersey City in the DNA of Toms River. Is that fair? If your kids have gone to school in either of the municipalities, should they forever have to pay a school tax in those municipalities, or get the hell out when you can? These are questions that need to be asked. And with the moratoriums ending and the state of emergency by Murphy will expire probably mid-June, rent increases, they're coming. Evictions, those are coming. And those school taxes play a big part of those expenses. Somewhere along the line, we have to get a handle on the school budgets. All right, we're going to break the commercial. You're watching the Toms River Show. I'll be right back.
Pen and Pencil Properties, Jersey City. Shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces that address your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at penandpencilproperties.com. Pen and Pencil Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-27. We're back. Toms River Show. Pat O'Melia here. You there? Borrowing another story from Jersey City. Jersey City has a new tax assessor. I think she came on about a year or so ago in Jersey City. And they're reviewing all the not-for-profit organizations that are tax exempt. And quite a few are getting upset that the city is reviewing this. And it started with a local radio station, WFMU, whose tax status was challenged. The mayor is in favor of continuing the tax status. But what's happening with a lot of these not-for-profits, and it happened with the hospitals too, in the state of New Jersey and everywhere, they straddle the line between what's not-for-profit and what is for-profit just by the nature of their operations. And a lot of these companies or institutions, whatever you want to call them, in Jersey City are probably not going to be renewed. There could be a court fight, but some of these taxations and taxation exemptions are 20, 30 years old. They were just rolled over constantly. And it's from not-for-profits, from religious organizations, in Jersey City, they're Class 15C and Class 15D. I'm not sure what they are in Toms River. And the reason I bring it to Toms River is because, again, it's amazing what happens in Toms River either happened in Jersey City or is happening in Jersey City. We could blindfold Mayor Fulop, the mayor of Jersey City, drop him in town hall in Toms River, and Fulop wouldn't miss a beat because these are the same issues he's dealt with in Jersey City. They straddle the line between their businesses, and a lot of them are going to lose those exemptions because somebody is seriously looking at them now. With what happened with the hospitals in Jersey City, and this is going back, or in New Jersey, shouldn't just say Jersey City, the municipalities started looking at the not-for-profit hospitals saying, with all the mergers that have occurred over the 10 years and the purchase of this practice and the purchase of that practice and this clinic, they were purchasing for-profit operations and putting them in under the not-for-profit umbrella. Eventually, the hospitals not only straddled the line, but they basically crossed the line because they were taking in for-profit operations under their umbrella. So the state and the municipalities, I'm homie to, I think it was Livingston, that first brought the attention that, this isn't solely a not-for-profit organization, their hospital. And many of the hospitals now in New Jersey have entered in either a pilot program, payments in lieu of taxes, or they have agreed to some sort of a fee per bed. And there's legislation kicking around in Trenton as to how to help the municipalities with these not-for-profits. But most of the not-for-profits have stepped up on their own and said, listen, all right, we know what we do with all these mergers, and we're picking up these various entities. We'll work with the municipalities, and some of the hospitals are now writing checks to the municipality, $500,000, $600,000, $800,000 a year, or they're supplying more services to the municipalities in lieu of those taxes. What's happening here in Jersey City, a lot of these organizations that have the exemption are fighting tooth and nail to keep it. And I don't know how successful they'll be. Now, you take some of the religious institutions, and I'm going to look right at the Catholic Church, and I'm a Catholic. The Catholic Church is really turning into a real estate organization, if they aren't already. They've closed numerous schools over the years, and they rent those schools out to charter schools on a triple net lease. They get a nice one big fat check every month. No taxes, no insurance, no payrolls, none of that, no maintenance on the building. It's really a good deal for the churches. Unfortunately, what's not happening is they're not growing any Catholics anymore. So they start looking at, hey, we're running low on parishioners here. Well, that's what happens when you don't have Catholic schools anymore. And years ago, there's St. John's the Baptist Church in Jersey City. I'm sure many of you know the church. It's up by the White Castle on Kennedy Boulevard. Closed the school, and it sat empty for quite a while. And the city took it off the tax-exempt rolls and started taxing it. Of course, the archdiocese and the church itself got all upset and asked to be reinstated. And I spoke out against that at the council meeting about issuing that reinstatement. I'm not a bad Catholic, even though it seemed to be going on the highway to hell about the Catholic Church abusing that exemption. The city council actually reinstated it because the church actually said, we have an AA meeting every month. Oh, you do? Give them that exemption back. This piece of property where the church is almost like a block long. I mean, the school is. It's like a block long. This was one of those $500,000 a year kind of exemption. Now it is a charter school, and of course that would be tax exempt, but it should be under their own tax exemption, a charter school, not from the religious. Because a lot of these churches have properties across the city that are still tax exempt. It had nothing to do with religion there, just that somebody passed on and left the house to the church. So Tom's River should be doing what Jersey City's doing and looking into those exemptions. I'm going to break for commercial. You're watching the Tom's River Show. I'll be right back.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers the quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport, live like you want.
We're back, Tom's River Show. Pat O'Melia here. Got my Gigantor shirt on. My Gigantor. If you were of a certain age, you remember Gigantor. And Tobor the 8th Man. I think it was Tobor first and Gigantor second on Channel 11 in the old days. Now, we're talking about, before we get to the king tides here, the tax exemptions. It's amazing how many properties are tax exempt. Whether it's, a religious organization, a Salvation Army, whatever it is, a county building, a town building, a city building, a school, a park, town hall, it is astonishing. As you ride around your town, all this is exempt. And, there's still money involved with those properties. So that is passed along to you, mom and pop. It's on your shoulders. But when you ride around town, just take notice of all these things that are tax exempt for whatever reason. King tides. I had never heard of a king tide until this week. Now, the king tides will be in effect here along the East Coast, and particularly in Seaside Heights around here, until the 29th of May. What is a king tide? Well, it is just one of the nature's curveballs they throw at Seaside Heights and the barrier islands here. There's an organization, mycoast.org. You see the URL there. They would like you, if you are suffering from the king tides, to take pictures of it so they can document the flooding along the East Coast. And there has been flooding here before. You'll probably recognize some of these sites that Mike is putting up now. Seaside Heights and the Barrier Islands, they're in a unique spot for the king tides, which again, never heard of, but of course it's coming here to Seaside Heights. I can see water outside the studio almost immediately. Since the Barrier Islands are situated between the bay and the ocean, king tides could be very problematic here. For that matter, when there's flooding in Seaside Heights, normally it comes from the bay. The bay, whatever one of nature's pitches to, whether it's a curveball, knuckleball, a sinker that nature throws at the Barrier Islands here. The bay, whether it's a blood moon, we just had that. A blood moon, a flower moon, we had a lunar eclipse. All that brings flooding. And the bay, when that floods, it actually comes back up through the sewers. When you're coming off Route 37, you come over the bridges, the Mathis-Tunney Bridge, and you get to the horseless rider. I don't know why the little girl isn't back on the carousel horse. Maybe when the carousel is restored, we'll put the girl back there. She's hanging out in the DPW. You'll see the water. It's like the Beverly Hillbillies, again, cultural reference from the old days, where black gold is shooting out of the ground. Well, that's what happens here with the sewers. You're coming on and saying, what the hell is that? And that flooding, and the higher that bay goes, the more force comes out of that sewer, and you start to get that flooding. Even during Sandy, the natives down here, the indigenous people of Seaside Heights, told me it wasn't the ocean that was really the problem. It was the bay that flooded everything out. And the Barrier Islands, situated right between them. So, yeah, this should be interesting when we have this king tide that occurs just as the tourist season is opening up here. And the summer starts, king tides. Welcome to Seaside Heights. Wear boots. I'm Pat O'Melia. You be good. You be safe. I'm out of show. Good night.